Hey everybody, hi, Becky here again. I don't even really know exactly what I want to talk about, but it's just been a really hard couple of days lately, so I just felt like I just wanted to, I guess, vent to YouTube, I guess. And it is like a mommy moment for sure. Tomorrow's my son's fourth birthday. I keep wanting to say second birthday, but his birthday's on the 2nd. So he's turning 4 tomorrow, and I feel like I'm still dealing with the terrible 2 stage. I feel like I can't leave my house with him. I can't do anything. I feel like a prisoner in my own home. And you can see, like, I did my hair. I got my little thing in. I spent like 90 minutes picking out my outfit, putting on the jewelry, the makeup, everything like that, just for him to have like a meltdown 2 seconds out the door. I'm already late. I was already half an hour past the time I wanted to leave to go to church. My in-laws were going to take my kids to their church today, so I was going to drop him off at their house. They already have my daughters. The daughters always get to go for a sleepover. He usually doesn't go with all of them. So I was getting ready, and I was like, okay, I'm also babysitting 19-month-old baby this weekend, so she was easy. I just got her up, got her dressed. Obviously they ate and everything while I was getting ready to go. But, like, she's so easy. I just got her up, changed her diaper, put her in her clothes, put her in the car, like, no problems. And then my son is like, I can't walk, my feet hurt. He wanted to give me a hug, so he jumped on my back to do like a piggyback kind of idea while I was changing the baby's diaper. So I put him down, and then he just decided he couldn't walk. He screamed, he cried. I got the baby into the car. He's still freaking out. He says he has to pee. I tell him to go pee. He can't physically stand. I carry him to the van and put him in the van, or try to get him in the van, but he's like, no, and he's lying in the grass in the neighbor's yard outside. And he's just freaking out. My legs hurt. I can't stand. I need to pee. I'm like, go, like, pee right here on the tree. I don't care. It's already 10:30. Church starts at 10:30. I wanted to leave at 10. Let's just go. And he's like, no, I can't move. He's screaming. He's crying. And it's like this all the time. All the time. He starts school in like 9 days. September 9th, he starts school, and I'm going to have to get all the kids ready in the mornings, and I'm like beyond stressed just thinking about it. My daughter starts school on Tuesday. It's Sunday now, obviously. So they start school September 3rd. And so I'm going to have to drive them in the mornings for it starts at 8:55, but if you want to get parking, I have to leave here by 8. It's about a 3-minute drive. So just the stress of getting the 3 kids up and fed and dressed and ready in the morning. I feel like I'm going to have to start getting up at 5 in the morning just to make sure all that happens. And then on top of that, I got to get my son ready for school as well. He was actually put in for morning class, because it's not all day, it's only like 2 hours and 55 minutes. So he was originally put in the morning class, and then I got a phone call in June from the office saying that they were looking for volunteers to go into the afternoon class. So I said, yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll put him in the afternoon class. And then I got a phone call from my mother-in-law, who used to work at the school, who was there visiting her old co-workers, her friends and stuff. And she's like, oh, the afternoon class is like really full. She's got lots of space in the morning class. Do you want to put him in the morning class? So I'm like, okay, sure, we'll put him back in the morning class, but, which is fine, like, either way, I'm gonna have to get him dressed and get him out the door, and I gotta get the girls out the door at, for the 9 o'clock school start anyway, so it doesn't really matter whether he starts in the morning or the afternoon. I'm just really stressed with taking him out. I've had a couple of really, really bad and hard days with him. Friday, I had to go to Walmart and Staples, and they're like across the street from each other. So I just parked like way out in the parking lot at Walmart, and then put my middle daughter actually wanted to go in the stroller, so I put her in the stroller for a little bit, and we went to Staples, and I was just looking for a desk organizer. That was it. And of course, it's back to school, and they were doing a thing where if you, they had like baked goods set up, and it was all by donation, and then I think that money went to go help kids or families who can't really afford school supplies. So it's like, okay, perfect, I have cash. If you guys are listening, you guys can each pick a muffin or a cookie or whatever. And, of course, he's running around the store with the stroller and just not exactly listening to me. So I was like, okay, that's it. I wrestled him into the stroller and then just pushed him out. And I didn't even get what I wanted at Staples. They didn't have what I wanted. But I let the girls pick out their treats. He didn't get anything. And then we're walking across back to Walmart. And Walmart took me a little bit longer. There was a few extra things I wanted to look for, including the desk organizer. And I'm trying, like, my house, again, always, never ending, is in a complete disaster. A hurricane could come through here, you wouldn't even know. It would probably make it cleaner, because it would sweep away garbage. But I was just looking for stuff. I'm trying to make, like, a charging station idea. I'll show you. Once it gets all done. I ordered some things from Amazon. It wasn't exactly what I wanted, which is also just frustrating me. It's just one more little tiny frustration. And my husband's on his work week on right now, so I'm like trying, like, I want to talk to him, like, what do you think about, like, should I return this product and look for a different product? Should I buy another product to fix this product? This is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. But he gets home at 8:30. The kids are not in bed. They're never in bed. They could stay up till like 11 p.m. every night. They're just constant energy all the time, unless they're like deathly ill. I think the last time my son was sick enough to actually sleep, he was about 18 months and he had the chicken pox, and that was it. Our kids are just energetic constantly. So he gets home, the dog is barking, the kids are freaking out. By the time the kids finally settle down and go to bed, like, I'm ready for bed. He's been working all day. And it's just like on his week on, we don't really get to connect and talk as much. If we do, we're up to like 1 in the morning, and then he has to get up at 6 in the morning and go to work for a 12-hour day, which is not really fair. And then on his week off, we get a little bit more time to talk. Now that school's starting again, it will be better those days, but it's still just, you know, constantly busy, hectic, dealing with the kids and stuff. But so Walmart took longer than I expected, and then he's in just the tiny little umbrella stroller, so he can easily, like, he just picks it up. I'll add the clip actually of him on our walk when I was talking about the gummy bears and stuff. He just picks up his stroller and just walks around with it if no one's, like, physically holding it or pushing it. So he's getting to that point of our trip. Getting just tired, doesn't want to be in the stroller anymore. So I asked my oldest daughter, Sophie, can you just hold the stroller? We're going to self-checkout. I wanted to go to, like, a regular, like, a cashier, but those were all full, and I was like, yeah, I just want to get out of here, let's do self-checkout. And self-checkout, I always end up having a disaster with him. All the time. This time he was in the stroller, so at least I knew where he was, and he didn't run away like he did last time. But he's just, like, freaking out, pushing around, so all of a sudden Maya, my middle daughter, is bawling, and I look over and he bit her on the arm, this huge bite, this huge bruise, and she's like, I'm trying to help Sophie, I'm trying to help Sophie. So I literally just grabbed the stroller and plunked him so that the handlebars and the back part was, like, on the floor like this, and the wheels were sticking up like this, just to keep him still for like 2 minutes while I finished. Like, at this point, I think everything was already scanned through. But the bill came out to like $148, and I transferred $100 into my account for that day. Babies. So anyways, I had budgeted the $100 in my account, and then I had $50 in cash. So it was like perfect. It came out to $148, and I was like, I'm going to put $50 in cash, the rest on my debit. And of course, I'm at self-checkout. It doesn't take cash. So I'm like, great. Kids on the floor screaming. The whole, like, self-checkout area, like, pretty much all of them are full. So there's all these people staring at me. My middle daughter's crying. The other daughter's just standing there like, I don't know what to do. I'm just trying to help. I'm sorry this isn't working. So now I gotta go on my phone, on the bank account, transfer the money, tell my husband, sorry, I transferred another $50 over. Because of this. And, pick up back the stroller and just like storm out of there. I actually asked Maya later why she was anywhere near Ryland's mouth, and she said she was trying to help Sophie. And I was like cursing and swearing, and it wasn't until afterwards, like, I was so frustrated, and it wasn't until afterwards I realized, like, no one ever offers to help in those situations. Nobody ever, like, and I get it, we're all busy, we're all at the checkout, but there's no, like, single people there, like, not single, like, relationship status, but just by themselves at the store at that moment that are like, here, let me push your toddler or something. Like, sometimes workers might try to help, like, if you're at the actual till, a cashier might try to help, like, talk to your upset kid. I've had that before, but rarely do people ever just try to help you when you're out at the grocery store. And I do understand it. I feel like my kids are the worst kids possible out of the house. I never see other parents dealing with the same things that I deal with. And so that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I just never see it. So it feels very isolating to me. Like, why are my kids the worst kids ever when we leave the house? And my daughters aren't so bad now. They're a lot better, but like, Sophie's 7.5. Ryland's gonna be 4 years old tomorrow, so it just feels like I've been trapped in my house for almost 8 years. And I just thought, like, when they got older it would get easier, but like, Sophie's gotten easier as she's gotten older. Maya, it's hit or miss. She can have a really good day, she can have a really bad day, she can be having the best day of her life, and you say, like, no to one thing, and then it's just full-on meltdown, yelling, cursing, crying, can't move, just really, really bad. So Maya's hit or miss, and then Riley can be okay sometimes, but he's still really busy and doesn't really listen. He's the kid at 4 years old who still needs to be wearing, like, a baby leash. Seriously. But I see other kids, I've heard other parents, like, like, talk to their kids at the grocery store, and they're like, oh, that mom is not happy, or that dad's not happy right now. I've heard other kids, like, screaming and crying, like, walking around the store, I've heard it, or them leaving the store, I've heard it, but I've never, like, I feel like I never see the full-on meltdowns that I have with my kids, the meltdown that I'm personally having at that moment, because the kids have just, like, gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. And I hate, like, everyone just tells me, like, don't shop with the kids. Well, I would never get to go shopping, or I'd only shop at 9 o'clock at night, or, like, my house is so overwhelming. I am stressed, like, to the max all the time because of my house. So I'm like, I need to get out and buy things to help organize this house. And then I do that, and then I'm just stressed with the kids anyways. And I can't afford a babysitter every time I leave the house. I don't want to ask my in-laws every single time I leave the house, can you watch my kids? I want to be a parent who can leave the house. And I want to be able to take my kids out places. And I don't want to feel like a prisoner in my own home. Like, it's bad enough that I have to lock my closet door and my bedroom door, and I have to lock the fridge, and I have to lock my cabinets, and I have to lock my front door so the kids can't get out. Like, everything is on lockdown. We are, like, high maximum security in this house. And it's so frustrating. I literally feel like a prisoner in my own home. And yesterday, so that was just a bad day. Friday, And then Saturday, they had a kids camp thing that they do from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It used to be ages 4 to whatever. And then they switched to ages 3 and up. And I was like, oh, Riley can go in September. But now he's gone a couple of times now because they switched it to 3-year-olds. And so it's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they were having like a movie day, pajama day, whatever. So I brought my 3 kids there. And I was like, oh, that gives me about 3 hours at home. I was actually planning to go to the library to work on my book, writing my book. But then I was like, oh yeah, I'm babysitting this weekend. And so I'll just go home and work on stuff. And then I was like, it's a little bit cold. For lunch, we'll go drive out to the McDonald's with the play center. And I'll let the kids play for a couple hours. We'll eat lunch. Maybe if it gets warmer, we can hit an outdoor park on the way home. Like, just a way to get out of the house and burn off the kids' energy. Like I said, they could be up to like 11. They could be up to like midnight. They're so full of energy all the time. So I'm like, I want a physical way for them to burn off their energy, to get out of the house, be away from technology. Especially since they were going to this day camp. But it was still like a movie day, so I was like, well, they're out of the house, and they'll be burning off some energy, but still technology. And then the first kid I found was Maya. So I'm like, okay, let's go. And she's like, okay, Mom, let's go. And then she saw their like little treasure box, which has just like little toys that they give away. And I'm like, okay, Maya, we're not grabbing anything from there. Let's go. And she's like, no. I want to look through the treasure box. No, Maya, we need to go. It's time to go. No. So, like, right off the bat, she's not listening to me, and I'm holding a baby in my arms. And I'm like, come on, Maya, it's time to go. And then she's just like, no, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to leave this bench. I'm not going to show you anything. I'm not going to show you where Rylan is, what classroom he's in. I'm not going to show you where, like, anything is. No, that's it. She shut down. She won't talk to me. She's mad because I told her, let's not play and take things out of the treasure box. Great. So then I hear Rylan come running up behind me, and he's like, Mommy! And then I saw the worker, and he's like, oh, we just had to go to the bathroom, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, perfect, let's go, Rylan. And then he runs back into the classroom that they had been in, and they have this little, like, Thomas the Train track thing with, like, you ride on the train, and so the guy, like, pushes him down, and he's having fun. So I'm like, okay, that's fun, now let's go. It's time to go, let's go get Sophie. And he's like, no, I'm playing. And this church has, like, kids' own dollars that they get. And the guy's like, I'll give you an extra dollar thing. It's like $20. But he's like, I'll give you an extra $20 coupon. Kids' own money thing, whatever. But you gotta listen to your mom. So he's, like, literally bribing him with money. So Rylan's like, okay, let's go. So then he goes into the sanctuary of the church, runs all over the sanctuary, up onto the stage, behind the drum set. Of course, he loves to go behind the drum set. And I'm carrying a baby, right? Like, she's 18 months, so I mean, she's supporting her head and stuff like that. So I'm chasing him around. I'm like, let's go. And one of the reasons, like, there was a couple of moms talking into one of the doors that's normally closed. So he just, like, ran in. But one of the reasons I want to go in the sanctuary is because they brought blankets and stuff for this movie. And the guy's like, I think he left his blanket and his pillow in the sanctuary. So didn't find that. Maya was running around. She's like, I can't find it. So now she's following me at this point, at least. But I'm like, sorry. I'm like, Rylan, we need to go now. So he says, okay. And he just ran and booked it out of the sanctuary, out the front doors, and I'm, like, behind him, and I'm like, Rylan, stop! No, Rylan, don't leave the building. Like I said, we have to go, but we're still missing a child, right? So, and he just books it, and this other mom was standing there, and she was holding the door open, and then she sees that he's leaving, and I'm yelling at him, and he books it across the parking lot of this church, and he's, like, so close to running across the main road. But this other mom who saw, she's like, oh, and just booked it after him and was able to, like, grab him before he ran across the road. So I'm, like, shaking. I'm mad. I got this baby in my arms. And I'm like, let's go now. I was like, thank you. Like, barely even had a chance to say thank you to her. I was so mad. So thankful that she grabbed him, but so mad at him at this point. So I got like the baby and I'm dragging him with the other arm, put the baby in the car seat. Get Rylan into the back and he sits like in the back because he's big enough now he can actually buckle himself in if he wants to, of course. So he's yelling, he's screaming, he's fighting, he's mad, he's got no shoes. I don't know where his shoes are. They're lost at church. I'm like, whatever. So I force him into his car seat, which is another thing. How do you get your kids into those 5-point harnesses? So I finally force him into the car seat. I try to tighten it as much as I can because he can't unbuckle the bottom part.
Mommy, is this for
but
Daddy?
He can unbuckle, yeah, please let it go. But he can unbuckle the top part, so he's like trying to squeeze his arms out. I'm trying to tighten it as much as I possibly can to keep him in the car seat, and he's yelling and he's screaming. And Maya at this point is listening, and she's gone and sat in her own car seat and buckled up, and I got the baby buckled. So I just leave the car and I go to find Sophie, who's still in the church. And I walk up and she's lying on the ground in her blanket, with her blanket and her pillow. And I'm like, okay, Sophie, sorry. She's like, I'm the last one here. And I'm like, I know, I'm sorry. I was here a few minutes ago. I was dealing with your brother and stuff. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, I'm tired. And the guy working there is like, she's been tired the whole time. I'm like, of course. I'm like, hey, come on, Soph. And so she came and she buckled up for me and everything. And it was all good. And I was just like so frustrated and trying to text my husband and stuff to tell him about what was going on. And I'm like, what do? I had no plans for lunch. I was going to just take them to McDonald's. And now it feels like the worst part about having to discipline and punish your kids is that you're being punished for it. I was like, my chance to get out of the house and get the kids to burn off some energy. And it's ruined because they're not listening to me. And then he just texts back and he's like, yeah, I know it's unfair. But we ended up, I went to just the drive-through McDonald's instead of the Play Center one because it's like on the other side of town. And so I got us all McDonald's. And I was like, hey, we're going to go home. No technology. We're not playing. They've been playing a lot of Mario lately on the Wii U and on their DSs and stuff. So I'm like, no technology. I bought a Blizzard or a McFlurry, sorry, for me and just Sophie to share. Because I was like, no, Maya, you weren't listening when I picked you up. And gross, Rylan. And Rylan was really not listening. So I'm like, definitely no ice cream for them. So that was our like little treat. And so anyways, that was just like my really frustrating moment yesterday, which was really, really crappy because I was like, the whole time they were gone, I'm like, we're gonna go to McDonald's. I grabbed a book. I write my friend a letter, so I grabbed that just in case I had a chance to write. I'm like, they're gonna play. I'm gonna sit and do whatever, work on this or that. Like, it's just gonna be a really good afternoon. That was my positive vibe. I'm like, yes, this is gonna be really good. No, like, within a minute of getting to the church, it all just fell to pieces and was just completely ruined. And that was really upsetting. So that was another day stuck in the house yesterday. And then this morning, I slept in. I don't sleep very well. I have someone who comes into my bed every single night, at least one, if not 2 to 3 kids in our bed every night. We sleep in a queen-size bed. I like my space. There are some nights, most nights, where my husband is like, I want to cuddle, and I'm just like pushing him slowly as he falls asleep. I'm like, get away from me. I want my space. So then I wake up with all these kids, and I have to pee at least 7 times in the middle of the night. Like, I just do not get good sleep. And like my whole life, I feel like the best hours for me to sleep are between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. Like, I should be working a night shift somewhere and just sleep during the day, which I used to do when I was like 18. I had a night job, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and then I would sleep till whenever. I don't know, I'd go to bed at like around 9 a.m. and then sleep for like 8 to 10 hours. Like, I was a teenager. I could do that. But, so I don't get good sleep. So I slept in this morning. And then, like I said, I spent my time. He got up and turned on TV for himself, of course, every day. And then, so I got him and baby their breakfast, got myself breakfast, and did all this. And then as soon as I went to go leave the door, this guy has another meltdown. His legs are too tired. He can't walk, all this stuff. So now here I am. Again, just stuck in my house.
I can put you a bunny new. Beep. I can take your nose.
You took my nose, but I have to sneeze. Oh, I can't sneeze. You have my nose. Can I have it back? Achoo! And so he acts like this. I told my mom the one time. I said, this is how kids stay from us murdering them, because he had napped and it was a really bad day. And this was like 2 years ago.
My nose on your nose.
Oh, I have a baby nose now. Look at my cute little baby nose. Isn't it cute? He had a really...
Now I got my nose.
You got my big nose. You got my big mommy nose.
And my other nose.
You got two noses. He's got two noses. Anyways, he had a really bad day where he just did not sleep or anything like that. And then he fell asleep on me and was really cuddly. And I was like, Mom, this is how kids live to see another day. This is how toddlers live to see another day. So, like, he can be really sweet, but just, like, leaving the house is a complete disaster. And I don't know... Like, I feel like at 4 years old by now, he should be able to, like...
And you're my forehead.
Sorry, he just took my forehead and gave me his forehead. So, like, I just feel like at 4, we should be able to leave the house. Like, that should be something we can do. And I'm really stressed now because, like, when he was born, my first, Sophie was going into ECDP. Like preschool. So now he's going in ECDP, and like he was 6 days old when my daughter started. So he was easy. He was just in the bucket seat, or I could leave him like in the car and run her to the door or whatever. As he got older and older, it got really stressful. There's like there's like 4 different parks there. So he would just like run to a different park far away from where the door was for her to go to school. And now I have to take him to school, and I'm just really stressed, and I'm hoping that him being in school will help him, like, kind of grow and mature a little bit in that. And that,
very good.
I just don't know, how do you get your kids to listen to you when you leave the house? It's like training dogs. When you have a puppy, you teach them, and they say, like, I've read a lot of dog training books, and they say, like, don't walk your dog off leash until you've mastered the recall. And you basically have your dog, like, you buy, like, a long leash or a long rope that you just tie to their collar or whatever, and you slowly give them more and more length, and then you call them back. And when they listen, they get the treat. But you always have the rope or the leash because they might not come back, so, you know, you don't want them to run off or... get hit by a car or something, right? But even if you're in a big, like, field or in your backyard or something, then you can give them that little tug that says, okay, I called your name, come back. And you're giving them that, like, physical reminder, right? Like, okay, come. What's the equivalent of doing that with your kids? Do I need to put a leash on them and take them out in the backyard and, like, say, okay, Rylan, I said come back now, and then, like, tug on him? Sorry, this video is taking a super long... I'm sorry, this video is taking such a long time to film. Obviously, I got Rylan here and the baby, and like I said, my daughters are with my in-laws. But it's just, like, how do you teach your kids the recall trick? Like, at a certain age, like the baby right now... She's almost 19 months old. I don't necessarily expect her to come back. Like, I wouldn't leave her, just put her down in the middle of the field and walk away and just expect her to not wander off. she's a baby. Now, like at 4 years old, you can't really do that either, obviously. Like, you have to keep an eye on your kids. But at what age can you reasonably expect them to come back when they're called? Or even, like, if we're out at a park or something and I can't see the kids and I'm like, Sophie, Maya, they'll, like, respond. Not always. It's not always perfect. But if we're talking about dogs, they still wouldn't be able to walk off leash because their recall is not perfect. But I can be like, okay, where are you? If I can't see them, and then I'll hear it like, oh, I'm here, I'm here. Like, and they're 7 and almost 6. So, like, honestly, what age? Why at 4 years old has he not caught on to this yet? Why at 4, when I say, okay, it's time to go, he says, okay, and he books it so fast, I can't keep up with him, and he's running across streets, and he's running through parking lots, and he's just, he's gonna get hurt, he's gonna get run over. Like, is that what it's gonna take? Him getting run over in the parking lot for him to learn that you can't just leave? Like, when I say, okay, it's time to go, I expect him to come stand with me and hold my hand, or at least walk beside me. At the very least. Is it because I don't have another baby that he just never grew up and he's just perpetually going to be the baby, so he's never going to listen? Speaking of babies, he's making the baby laugh.
Mommy,
Maybe
Haley's
correct.
laughing at me.
Yeah, I can hear her. Anyways, I'm sorry this video is so long. My husband's like, when you do videos, make sure they're like under 5 minutes. No one wants to watch long videos, especially when you don't have like an established audience or anything yet. And I do have short videos. Sorry, being a pet, being a mommy to pets as well. There's just like dog hair constantly. I'm always dirty. And Rylan just ran and got dog hair all over me. And then the dog is there too. But yeah, my husband's like, don't make long videos, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I know. You gotta keep them short and entertaining and blah, blah, blah. But I've had a couple of really hard, difficult days. And my house is like disgusting right now. And I did dishes twice yesterday. And my husband got home and the sink was just full of dirty dishes. And I'm like, I give up. I did them twice already. And I'm just constantly stressed about my house and the things in my home and the chaos. And like, I'm constantly trying to get rid of stuff. And another pet peeve I have is that, like, it's Ryan's birthday tomorrow, which means gifts. And then Maya's birthday's in November, which means gifts. And then my birthday's in November, which people don't get me gifts the way they get my kids gifts. So that's okay. And then Christmas. And then Sophie's birthday's in January, which means gifts. So it's just like between September and January, it's the most stressful time. Because I have told people, please do not get my kids gifts. Either do something with them that day, take them to the movie, like plan a date with them, or buy these specific gifts. Sorry, that last video I made apparently was too long for my phone. So I just wanted to wrap this up really quick, but there's like some gifts that I want more of. Like, now that my kids are older, we do Lego, or we have these magnet things. I surprisingly don't have one close by, but it's just like, instead of Lego or whatever, they're magnets. And I have like certain gifts that I want my kids to have and not other gifts. And I've told people, like, please do not buy gifts. And I've literally had them say, like, no, it's our money and we're going to spend it however we want. Too bad. And my stress level is like way up here. And people are like, I don't care. I'm going to get these kids whatever I want to get them. And I'm like, okay, thanks. But just so you know, they're going to break. And I'm going to throw them out within 48 hours of having this gift. And that money, that was your money and you wanted to spend however you want, is just gone into the garbage. Or it's getting donated or I'm gonna put it up because I'm gonna get frustrated with it, and then 3 years later I'll be like, oh yeah, here's this gift. So yeah, it's beyond frustrating, and I'm at the point where I want to tell people, I'm sorry, we don't celebrate birthdays and Christmas anymore. If you buy us stuff, just know that we're gonna give it to Santa's Anonymous or something, and we don't celebrate that. So you can either respect our beliefs, our rules, or you can just know that what you bought isn't going to be wasted, but it's not going to come to our family, because I'm just so frustrated with all the stuff in my house. And it's never ending, and people can give me all the tips and tricks they want about how to like organize and get rid of stuff. But the fact is that they're kids, and stuff is always going to be coming back into the house. Always. Always, always, always. So anyways, that's my rant for now. I'm sorry it's over half an hour long. If you watched the whole thing, thanks for watching and supporting me. I have a couple more short videos in mind. You can see my kid's bedroom. You can see my dirty floor. Things like that. I can show you the laundry pile or the dishes again, because those are always there. But yeah, I gotta go. I think my son is ripping up baby wipes now, so anyways, I'll end this video off with that clip of Rylan on our walk with his stroller. So, thanks for listening to my rant and allowing me to do this. God bless you guys. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Bye. Hey, Rylan. Okay, Rylan. Let's go for a walk. Hashtag mommy moment.
Hashtag.
Hashtag. He got tired of me. He got tired of waiting for me to finish texting.
Rylan, this way! This way!